The University of Houston is now the latest university in Texas that will no longer consider diversity, equity, and inclusion in its admissions and hiring processes.
Walmart is rolling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The Fact Check team's Janae Bowen is joining us now with a look at why the company, Janae, is making this change. And we've actually heard of several companies that are rolling back initiatives.
Exactly, Dee Dee. So Walmart says the changes are to foster a sense of belonging, to open doors to opportunities for all our associates, customers, and suppliers, and to be a Walmart for everyone. Now, the changes will include pulling out of a gay rights index and halting priority treatment to suppliers based on race or gender.
From college campuses to corporate America, the fear of legal liability and political backlash is leading some to backtrack or rebrand their diversity initiatives. In the last few weeks, there have been a number of high-profile companies announcing changes. The latest, home improvement retailer Lowe's. That follows similar moves by Harley-Davidson, John Deere, and the maker of Jack Daniel's whiskey.
A diversity, equity, and inclusion administrator at the University of Michigan fired over making alleged anti-Semitic remarks. Rachel Dawson, the director of the university's Office of Academic Multicultural Initiatives, is accused of making multiple anti-Semitic comments at a conference.
At least 9 states have banned DEI requirements per the Chronicle of Higher Education, with my home state of Wisconsin as well as Ohio and Missouri axing them from public universities last year. MIT in Massachusetts and Harvard's Faculty of Arts and Sciences have as well.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI as it's known, appears to be going a bit out of style. The University of Michigan on Thursday announced that it is slashing the diversity statement requirement from its hiring process. It is also considering a broader move away from DEI policies. In other words, they're no longer demanding tenured and incoming faculty to outline how they would promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in their teaching. The decision comes as the university joins other schools in overhauling sprawling DEI programs.
University of Florida becoming the latest school to eliminate all diversity, equity, and inclusion program positions.
Companies have been violating federal employment law, number one, exposing themselves to big liability, for which they would presumably have to pay shareholders money to fix. The other is that they're depriving shareholders of the best talent.
And it's worth saying we need to consider whether diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, or DEI, have been more divisive than inclusive. Here's what Harvard professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz told us earlier this week.
Anti-Semitism grew out of the DEI program. Remember, diversity doesn't include Jews. It's only skin color diversity. Equity doesn't include Jews. And inclusion excludes Jews. And so when you have a university bureaucracy pitting some groups against others, you're going to inevitably get anti-Semitism.
Some agree that a change is needed. This week, the governor of Oklahoma signing an executive order that effectively eliminates DEI programs at state agencies and all of the state's universities.
And it's not just you. Over 900 studies have shown that DEI programs don't make the workplace better for minorities. In fact, it can actually make things worse because of the backlash effect.
Today, we're diving into a contentious topic: diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. While these principles are widely supported, it's crucial to explore their criticisms and potential pitfalls. Let's examine how DEI can lead to unintended consequences and its broader impact on organizations and society. Diversity refers to the presence of different identities within a group, equity emphasizes fairness in opportunities, and inclusion creates an environment where everyone feels valued and respected. While these goals are admirable and necessary in today's diverse world, their implementation can pose significant challenges that merit scrutiny. A major concern is tokenism, where organizations hire individuals from underrepresented groups primarily to meet quotas rather than for their qualifications. This practice can lead to feelings of undervaluation and frustration among those hired, who may feel like they are there to fill a gap rather than contribute based on their skills. Moreover, tokenism can diminish the credibility of genuinely qualified individuals who might share the same identity, making it difficult for them to succeed in an environment where their presence is questioned. DEI initiatives can create an us vs them mentality, fostering division rather than unity. This division can erode teamwork and morale, ultimately impacting overall productivity and workplace culture. By placing too much emphasis on differences, organizations may inadvertently overlook the common goals and values that bind employees together. An overemphasis on identity can overshadow individual talents and qualifications, detracting from collaboration and the organization's core mission.
A recent study by the Network Contagion Research, which sounds like they're trying to kill a virus, it's called the NCRI, and Rutgers University, they explored the psychological impacts of diversity, equity, and inclusion training, DEI training. The research indicated that exposure to certain DEI materials might increase hostility, authoritarian tendencies, and acceptance of extreme rhetoric among participants.
Why not tell people to check their privilege? Some of us have privilege.
Yes, but some of us are accomplished, and that's being called privilege. And I think that's unfair. It's one thing to be born on third base and act like you hit a triple. It's another thing to be born on first base and still second, right? And again, third. You know, that's an accomplishment.
And that's frowned upon now?
Well, it's frowned upon by people who find it strategic to frown upon it, yes. If you can keep this race thing going, then you'll always have a business in getting rid of racism. Even Ibram X. Kendi proposed a branch of government, right, regarding anti-racism. And what do you need to justify that? You need racism. It's in his best interest to perpetuate racism, you know, in order to maintain a career.